Today in History. Okay, are we ready to take a look back on the past to see what happened on this day?
We are. We have two events to share, but first here is a quiz question for you. This planet is known as the eighth and farthest planet in the solar system. Is it number 1, Andromeda, or number 2, Neptune? Okay, the question once again. This planet is known as the eighth and farthest planet in the solar system. Number 1, Andromeda, or number 2, Neptune. If you know the answer, you can put it on our Bundy board or text in pounder sharp 1045 for 51, and the prize is a wireless mouse.
안드로메다. 그거군요. 알겠습니다. Okay, so let's check out what interesting happened actually on this day in the past.
Today in history. In 1846, Neptune was discovered, and in 1994, The Shawshank Redemption was released.
1846년 9월 23일, 해왕성이 발견된 날이고요. 또 1994년 9월 23일엔 영화 Shawshank 탈출, Shawshank Redemption이 개봉한 날입니다.
Okay, but we start today's journey to the past with the discovery by German astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle of the eighth and farthest planet from the sun in our solar system.
And that planet is, of course, Neptune, which was discovered on this day in 1846.
That's right, but it wasn't until July of 2011 that the first birthday of its discovery was celebrated.
Oh, and the reason was that it took that long for Neptune to return to the position where it was discovered in 1846.
Interesting. It took 165 years to orbit the sun, and the discovery is even more amazing when we consider the fact that it was done by using mathematical predictions only.
Wow, the prediction of the exact location of Neptune, which was done for 2 decades since 1821, was so accurate that it enabled the visual discovery of the planet.
Interesting. Is that one of your interests, something in the stars and the planets and telescopes and looking way up into the sky, things like that?
I'm always amazed how the universe works. I mean, if there's any way, actually. But I don't really think that's a part of one of the interest areas of mine.
Yeah. It's a fascinating one.
It is.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go look at one of those giant telescopes,
Right.
you know what I mean? But I've never had the chance. All right, let's go from astronomy, the field of astronomy, to the field of movies. It was on this day in 1994 that one of the most acclaimed movies of all time was released.
And that was none other than The Shawshank Redemption, the #1 film in the top 250 best movies according to the Internet Movie Database.
Sometimes it makes me sad, though, Andy being gone. I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. But still, the place you live in is that much more drab and empty that they're gone.
Well, this is surprising to me. This movie was based on the novel by the master of horror, Stephen King. I did not know that.
My goodness.
And actually, the same director would later make the respective film adaptations of other works by King, The Green Mile and The Mist.
And the film was released the same year as other highly acclaimed titles such as Forrest Gump and Pulp Fiction.
Good year for movies, huh?
I know, yeah. And despite the latter's immense success, The Shawshank Redemption outranked them in the American Film Institute's list 100 Years, 100 Movies.
And to think that the role of Andy Dufresne was offered to Kevin Costner. He didn't take it. Tom Hanks. Could have been him. Nope. Brad Pitt. It could have been him. They all turned down the role, actually, due to scheduling conflicts with Waterworld, Forrest Gump, and The Interview. Interview with the Vampire, respectively. So they all had other projects going on. They couldn't do it. So Tim Robbins ended up with the role.
And did an amazing job there.
Absolutely perfect in that role. Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's go back to our quiz question and check out the answer.
Okay, the question was, this planet is known as the eighth and farthest planet in the solar system. The answer is number 2, Neptune.
That's all we have for Today in History, and we'll come back tomorrow with more from the past.